Hello students, today we will start with one of the topic that is sexual disorder, and it is from unit 10. Here in the introduction part, sexual disorder can be classified into four main types. So the sexual disorder, it can be classified into four main types. Like in the first one, sexual dysfunction, gender identity disorder, psychological and behavioral disorder associated with sexual development and maturation, and the fourth one is paraphilia, that is disorder of the sexual preferences. So these all the different types, different four types, we are going to discuss one by one in details. Here in the definition of sexual disorder, any disorder involving sexual functioning, desire or performance, or sexual disorder is difficulty experienced by an individual or a couple during any stage of normal sexual activity, including physical pleasure, desire, preferences, arousal or orgasm. So here is the definition of the sexual disorder. It can be defined as any form of disorder occurs in the sexual functioning, or any changes or disorder in the sexual desire, or it may be any disorders in the sexual performances. Okay, or it can also be defined as any difficulty experiences by an individual or by a couple during their normal sexual activity, and the difficulties can be experienced in the physical pleasure, and the difficulties they can get in the desire, their preferences, and also in the sexual arousal or orgasm. Okay, so this is the definition of sexual disorder. Here, the first type of sexual disorder, that is sexual dysfunction. So it is the first type of sexual disorder. The essential features of sexual dysfunction are an inability to respond to sexual stimulation or experience of pain during the sexual act. So this sexual dysfunction, it is characterized by inability to respond to the sexual stimulation, or dysfunction can be experienced in the form of pain during the sexual activity. Next, dysfunction can be defined by disturbances in the subjective sense of pleasure or desire, usually associated with sex, or by the objective performance. And the dysfunctions can be defined as disturbances in the subjective feeling for the sense of pleasure or desire that associated with the sex, or the disturbances or any changes in performance of the other, that is objective performance. Okay, so disturbances or any changes in performance of the other individual who engage in the sexual activity. So this function can be seen in subjective performance and the objective performances. In DSM-5, the sexual dysfunction include male hypoactive sexual desire disorder. So based on the Diagnostic and Statistical Manual of Mental Disorder, that is 5th edition, sexual dysfunction have been classified into, and in this sexual dysfunction, the subtypes are male hypoactive sexual desire disorder, next female sexual interest or arousal disorder, erectile disorder, female orgasmic disorder, delay ejaculation, premature ejaculation, genitopelvic pain or penetration disorder, substance or medication induced sexual dysfunction, other specific sexual dysfunction, and the unspecified sexual dysfunction. So these are the types under the sexual dysfunction. Sexual dysfunction can be lifelong or acquired, general or situational, and result from psychological factor, physiological factor combined, and other numerous stressors including prohibitive cultural mores, health and the partner issue, and social conflicts. So this sexual dysfunction, it can be present since the individual becomes sexually active, and the sexual dysfunction can be lifelong means throughout the life, and acquire means begin or obtain only for a specific period or during after the normal sexual function. So the sexual dysfunction can be lifelong or the acquire, or it may be general. So generalized or general in the sense no limited to certain types of stimulation, situations, or the partner. Okay, that is for general. And situational in the sense with certain reasons. Okay, and also this sexual dysfunction can cause by some of the psychological factors, physiological factors, combined factors, that is both psychological factors and physiological factors will be present. And it can also result from numerous stressors like partner issue, relationship conflicts, then prohibited cultural mores and cultural habits or manners. Okay. Desire, interest, and arousal disorder under this male hypoactive sexual desire disorder. So don't confuse, these are all the types under the sexual dysfunction. Okay, the first type sexual dysfunction, and under that again subtypes are there. Okay, so in the first one, male hypoactive sexual desire disorder. This dysfunction is characterized by deficiency or absence of sexual fantasies and desire for sexual activity for a minimum duration of approximately 6 months. Reported with 6% of men ages 18 to 24 and 40% of men ages 66 to 74 have problem with the sexual desire. So the first subtype under sexual dysfunction, that is male hypoactive sexual desire disorder. In this type, it is characterized by the deficiency or the absence of sexual fantasies and the absence of desire for this sexual activity, and it should be present for a minimum duration of approximately 6 months. And here it is reported that about 6% of the men age ranges from 18 to 24 and 40% of the men age ranges from 66 to 74, they have the problem of this sexual desire. DSM-5 criteria for male hypoactive sexual desire disorder. So here we will see how the Diagnostic and Statistical Manual of Mental Disorder have given some of the characteristics or the criteria for the male hypoactive desire disorder. So here, persistent or recurrently deficient sexual or erotic thoughts or fantasies and desire for sexual activity. The judgment of deficiency is made by the clinician, taking into account factors that affect sexual functioning such as age and socio-cultural context of the individual lives. So here, according to the DSM-5, some of the criteria for male hypoactive sexual desire disorder have given. So under this, if the individual or if the man has continuously or frequently decrease in their sexual thoughts, erotic thoughts, and if he has less fantasies or less desires for the sexual activity, and if such deficiencies or disorders in the sexual activity can be classified or can be found out only by the clinician by looking after those factors that affect the sexual functioning, like age of the patient, socio-cultural context of the individual lives. Example like more stressful occupation, not having family time, etc. Okay. The symptoms of criteria A have persisted for a minimum duration of 6 months. The symptom in criteria A cause clinical significant distress in the environment. In the individual. So here, if such signs and symptoms like decrease or deficiency in the sexual thought, less desire for sexual activities, if this present in the individual for 6 months, and with this, if the individual has developed distress, then the individual or the person may present with male hyperactive sexual desire disorder. So here some conditions, some characteristics have given by the DSM-5. So if these conditions or criteria is met by the individual, then we can say that the individual is with male hyperactive sexual desire disorder. Next is female sexual interest or arousal disorder. In this disorder, women may experiencing sexual dysfunction may experience either or both inability to feel interest or arousal, and they may often have difficulty achieving orgasm or experience pain in addition. So in this disorder, the woman may experience inability to feel interest or arousal of the sexual activity, and also there will be difficulty achieving the experiencing more pain during the sexual intercourses. DSM-5 criteria for female sexual interest or the arousal disorder. This diagnostic and statistical manual criteria to specify the presence of or the development of this female sexual interest and arousal disorder. Here the conditions are, some conditions they have given, same like the male disorder. So in this, the first one is lack of or significant reduced sexual interest, arousal as manifested by at least 3 of the following. Okay, so here the woman will have the lack of sexual interest or the significant reduce of this sexual interest or arousal, and it can also be manifested by the following symptoms. That is, if the woman is present with at least 3 of the following signs and symptoms, then she may diagnose with the presence of this female sexual interest or arousal disorder. So the conditions are here in the first one, if absence or reduced interest in sexual activity. If she has reduced total absence or reduce the interest in the sexual activity, and absent or decreased sexual thought and fantasies, and in the third one, reduce in initiation or establishment of this sexual activity with the partner, or being unresponsiveness to the partner attempts to initiate, and in the fourth one, absent of sexual excitement, pleasure during sexual activity, and in the fifth one, an absence of sexual interest or arousal in response to internal or external sexual things or performances, like written messages or visual things, example like videos and all. And in the sixth point, if there is any reduction or absence of the genital sensation during sexual activity. Okay. So the symptoms in criteria A have persisted for a minimum duration of 6 months. The symptoms in criteria A cause clinically significant distress in the individual. And D, the sexual dysfunction is not better explained by a non-sexual mental disorder or a consequence of a severe relationship distress or other significant distress, and it is not attributable to the effects of substance or medication or another medical condition. That means if the symptoms, so here the sign and symptoms we have discussed there in the previous slide, right? So if those symptoms have present or continue to the female or to the individual for a duration of 6 months, and if it is causes a significant distress to the particular woman, and if these all the sign and symptom not only cause or not only arise from the severe relationship distress, then significant stressors or by some of the medication or the side effects. And when the woman has met at least 3 of these following criteria, then it can be defined clearly as the presence of female sexual interest or the arousal disorder. Next is male erectile disorder. Male erectile disorder, historically called impotence, the incidence of erectile disorder increases with age. It has been reported variously as 2 to 8% of the young adult population. Alfred Kinsey reported that 75% of all men were impotent at the age of 80, and male erectile disorder can be organic or psychological or combination of both. So here, the male erectile disorder, it can be also called as impotence. Okay, male erectile disorder, or otherwise can call it as impotence. And such problem of erectile disorder will increase with the age. Okay, when the age is increasing, the problem will also get increasing. Okay, and it has been reported that 2 to 8% of the young adult population has this erectile disorder. And as per the report given by the Alfred Kinsey, that 75% of all the men were impotent when they become the age of 80 years. Okay, and the male erectile disorders can caused by organic in the sense the disease condition related to some of the vascular disease, or it may be from the medication side effect. And psychological means job related stress, money related, and the marital problems. But in young and middle aged men, the causes is usually psychological, that is due to the presence of stress, okay, then marital problem, job stress, etc. And DSM-5 criteria for male erectile disorder. Same like the previous cases, here also the individual or the person must experience at least one of the following symptoms. Okay, must be experienced almost all or marked difficulty in obtaining erection during sexual activity, marked difficulty in maintaining an erection until the completion of sexual activity, marked decrease in erectile rigidity. The symptoms is criterion A have persistent from a minimum. We can diagnose the individual or the male with male erectile disorder. Next is orgasm disorder. So here, male orgasmic disorder and the female orgasmic disorders are there. In the first one, failure or marked difficulty to have orgasm despite normal sexual excitement during coitus. A common disorder if present as retarded ejaculation, also called delay ejaculation. A man achieves ejaculation during coitus with great difficulty, and the cause can be biological and also psychological. So here, when the male partner doesn't develop the orgasm during intercourse, and it is one of the uncommon disorder, and it is also called as delay or late ejaculation. The male will achieve the ejaculation during intercourse with great difficulty, and the causes for this male orgasmic disorder, it can be biological, that is due to post prostate surgery or the drug induced, okay, from the drug side effects of the drugs, and the psychological, that is marital conflicts. Next is female orgasmic disorder or the female anorgasmia. Okay, so here same like male orgasmic, for female also difficulty to have the orgasm during the coitus, and for women lifelong female orgasmic disorder is there. In such case, the woman has never experienced orgasm by any kind of stimulation. Okay, and the causes for this female orgasmic disorder may be biological, that is due to some of the endocrine disorder like hypothyroidism, side effects of the drugs, or psychological means like marital conflicts. Next is premature ejaculation. This disorder is defined as ejaculation before the completion of satisfactory sexual activity for both partners. In severe case, it is characterized by ejaculation either before penile entry into the vagina or soon after the penetration, and this cause can be biological or the psychological. So here in the premature ejaculation, it can be defined as ejaculation, okay, that is the release of this semen from the male genital tract, okay. So premature ejaculation, it can be defined as ejaculation before the completion of this sexual activity, and in severe case it is characterized by ejaculation soon after the penetration into the vagina or before the entry of the penile into the vagina. And the causes for the premature ejaculation can be biological cause or the psychological causes. Next, sexual pain disorder. In this, non-organic dyspareunia and the non-organic vaginismus. Here in the non-organic dyspareunia, it is characterized by pain in the genital area, and it may occur in male and female during their sexual intercourse, and it is important to find out the possible organic factors that can cause pain. That means any inflammation, tumors present in their genital area or not. And in the second one, that is non-organic vaginismus, in this it is characterized by involuntary spasm, that is contraction of the lower 1/3 of the vagina during the coitus. So due to the contraction, penile entry is often painful or impossible. Here we will see etiology of sexual dysfunction, that is the overall causes of the sexual dysfunction. The first one, in the widely acclaimed book Human Sexual Inadequacy, Master and Johnson drew on their case studies to publish a theory of why sexual dysfunction develop, to tire model of the immediate and distal causes to conceptualize the etiology of sexual dysfunction as inadequacy. So the points they have given, they have find out the results were fear about performances. Next is spectator role. So the possible causes of this sexual dysfunction, one study they have done by Master and Johnson, and from that they have find out some of the possible causes of this sexual dysfunction, and these possible causes were, in the first one, fear about the performances of the sexual activity. So here the partner means either male or female or both the partner, they have fear on how to perform the sexual activities. And next is spectator role. Here the partner being an observer rather than the participant in the sexual experiences. And the immediate cause of sexual dysfunction, it may be due to some of the socio-cultural influences or due to biological causes like disease and all, and due to sexual traumas or the homosexual preferences. Next is biological factors, and under the biological factors, some of the disease, some of the illness can contribute to develop this sexual dysfunction, such as atherosclerosis. Okay, it's the disease of the artery due to the deposition of the fatty materials on the arterial wall. Okay, so it may be one of the biological factors for the development of this sexual dysfunction. Then next is multiple sclerosis. So here multiple sclerosis is one of the disease that damages the seeds of the nerve cell. Okay, so from this multiple sclerosis also sexual dysfunction may occur, and the low level of this testosterone, okay, the sex hormone, and the heavy use or intake of the alcohol before sex, and chronic alcohol dependence, that is a history of excessive drinking of alcohol. And estrogen means hormone that help or develop and maintain the female reproductive system. Okay. Certain medications such as antihypertensive drugs and especially selective serotonin reuptake inhibitors, antidepressant drugs. And here some of the medications such as antihypertension drugs and the SSRI and some of the antidepressants like Prozac, Zoloft. Okay, so all these mentioned drugs have an effects on the sexual dysfunction. Okay, including like delay orgasm, decreased libido, and diminished lubrication. Okay. And in older men, the main factor for erectile dysfunction is vascular disease. Okay. Next one is psychological factor. Some sexual dysfunction can be traced to rapes, childhood sexual abuse, or other degrading encounters. Okay, that means this sexual dysfunction can occur or can develop due to individuals from previous history of rape, childhood sexual abuse, and degrading encounters. Okay. Next is depression and anxiety increase the risk of sexual dysfunction. So same like if the individual, if they are present with depression and anxiety, then that can be also one of the risk factor for the sexual dysfunction. Next, negative cognition such as worries about pregnancy or age and negative attitude about the sex or concern about the partner interfere with sexual functioning. So here negative thinking and worries about pregnancy, age, and also negative attitudes about the sex and their partner, and also having a negative attitude towards the sexual dysfunction. Okay, and also sexual performances may change with some of the conditions, like when both the partner or when one of the partner are in stressful day, or it may be any of the disturbing conditions and the relationship between them and their issues, it may diminish in the sexual responses. Okay, so these are the psychological factors for the development of the sexual dysfunctions. That is, it may be either anxiety, depression, presence of anxiety and depression, and either they may have a negative thinking or negative thoughts about pregnancy and getting of these diseases like AIDS and all. And also if the partners are in a stressful mood or in stressful day, and if they are going through some of the disturbing problems, disturbing conditions, and the relationship between them. Okay, so these are the factors that can responsible for the development of the sexual dysfunctions. So for today we will discuss only up to here, and in the next class we will try to finish up it. Okay. Thank you, students.